The term manage the game is a negative. I think it's the greatest compliment you can give a quarterback because
After his divorce from Gisele in 2022, Tom Brady gave the impression that he was moving forward, but his social media told another story. Cryptic quotes, emotional reflections, and even a headline-grabbing thirst trap that kept fans guessing. By late 2024, whispers grew louder. Was Brady hinting at something more than just retirement or a new chapter? Behind the polished image of the NFL's greatest, he was a man navigating loss, love, and the challenge of starting over. And now, at 48, Brady has broken his silence, revealing a truth that's left fans stunned and the media in a frenzy. The untold story of Brady's rise. Tom Brady's story begins in San Mateo, California, where he was born on August 3, 1977. The youngest of 4 children, he grew up in a lively household with 3 older sisters, Julie, Maureen, and Nancy. His parents, Tom Sr. and Galen, believed in exposing their kids to everything from music to ballet, but it was sports that always pulled them back in. That suited the Bradys just fine, since both parents were passionate about athletics. The Brady household was full of talent. Maureen was a softball star who, at just 17, earned a spot on the U.S. Junior Olympic team before becoming an All-American pitcher at Fresno State. Julie played soccer on scholarship at St. Mary's, and Nancy earned her place at Cal Berkeley through softball. With so much athletic success around him, Tom grew up in an environment where competition was part of everyday life. His high school teammate, John Kirby, later recalled how Tom had to rise to the standard set by his sisters, all of whom were standout athletes. Before football ever came into the picture, Tom was just a kid who loved playing baseball and basketball with friends. Like many Bay Area kids, he idolized Joe Montana and went to 49ers games every season with his family. For a while, it even looked like baseball might be his future. He was a strong pitcher and a powerful left-handed hitter, good enough to be drafted by the Montreal Expos in the 18th round of the 1995 Major League Baseball draft. But instead of chasing baseball, Tom chose football and enrolled at the University of Michigan. That choice set him on a path that would eventually redefine his life. What's remarkable is that Brady didn't even start playing football until high school. His father later explained that Tom first stepped onto the field as a freshman at Junipero's Serra High. He spent most of that first season on the bench, watching while the team went winless, but he kept at it. By his sophomore year, he was starting at quarterback for the junior varsity team, and from there, his confidence and skills grew. He also attended camps at the College of San Mateo, where he learned how to throw a proper football under the guidance of former Atlanta Falcons quarterback Tony Graziani. College recruiters quickly began to notice his progress. Schools like UCLA, USC, Cal Berkeley, and Illinois showed interest, but Tom chose Michigan in 1995. His time with the Wolverines was defined by steady growth. During his years there, the team went 40-9 overall, and once he earned the starting quarterback role in his junior and senior years, they went 20-5. By the time he left Michigan, Brady had carved out a respectable place in school history, ranking 10th in career touchdown passes and 9th in passing yards. Brady's low-key romance you forgot about. In the year 2000, Tara Reid was everywhere. She was young, glamorous, and living life in the fast lane. After making her mark in films like The Big Lebowski, Urban Legend, Cruel Intentions, and, of course, the cultural phenomenon American Pie, she had become Hollywood's party girl. By the turn of the millennium, she was starring in Dr. T and the Women, gracing magazine covers and attracting paparazzi wherever she went. Meanwhile, in a very different world, Tom Brady was still finishing his college football career at the University of Michigan. Fresh off an Orange Bowl victory in 1999, he was preparing for the NFL draft. Unlike Tara's meteoric rise, his journey was more uncertain. When draft day came, Brady waited until the 199th overall pick before the New England Patriots finally called his name. That same year, their worlds briefly collided. At the ESPN ESPY Awards, in February 2000, Tara Reid and Tom Brady met for the first time. She was already a Hollywood starlet, while he was still just a college quarterback on the edge of a professional career. They clicked instantly, exchanged numbers, and, for the next few months, shared a casual, low-key romance. Away from the cameras, they went out dancing, spent time in bars, and simply enjoyed each other's company. Tara later remembered him as sweet, fun, and down-to-earth, a far cry from the serious, driven Brady, who would one day be known as the face of the NFL. Their fling ended later that same year, when Tara began dating Carson Daly. Within months, she was engaged, though the relationship ended before the wedding in 2001. By then, any chance of rekindling things with Brady was long gone. A few years later, Tom Brady's love life drew headlines again, this time for his relationship with actress Bridget Moynahan. They began dating in 2004, not long after Brady captured his second Super Bowl title with the Patriots. Bridget was thriving as well, fresh off memorable roles in Coyote Ugly and Sex and the City, and starring alongside Will Smith in I, Robot. She was at the height of her own career, and the couple quickly became a high-profile pair. For 3 years, they seemed solid. Bridget even told reporters that she saw herself married with children within 5 years. But in December 2006, the relationship came to an abrupt end. A representative confirmed they had ended things amicably, offering no further explanation. The breakup left many surprised, especially since Brady wasted no time moving on. By the end of that same year, he was already in the early stages of a new romance with Brazilian supermodel Gisele Bündchen, setting the stage for one of the most famous power couples of the 21st century. The love triangle nobody saw coming. Back in 2005, Gisele Bündchen was at a Patriots game in Massachusetts when someone showed her a photo of the team's star quarterback, Tom Brady. Fresh off a breakup with actor Leonardo DiCaprio, she glanced at the picture and admitted he was not too shabby. But at the time, Brady was in a long-term relationship with actress Bridget Moynahan. For over 2 years, Brady and Moynahan had been together, which raised the question, was Gisele hinting at her interest in him back then? She denied it, but by late 2006, Brady and Moynahan had split, and before long, Brady and Gisele were officially a couple. According to Brady's own recollection, a friend encouraged him to reach out to Gisele. He tried calling, but she didn't pick up, so he left a voicemail. Persistence paid off. They eventually met in person. Gisele later revealed that after their first date, she was counting the minutes until she could see him again. The two began dating in 2007, just 2 years after her 6-year romance with DiCaprio had ended. But the timing raised another question. Did Brady fall for Gisele while still with Bridget? Moynahan herself admitted she was heartbroken by the split, which suggests the breakup wasn't her choice. While the couple has never given a detailed explanation, it's clear Brady moved on quickly. And just when things seemed like a classic case of heartbreak for one woman and new love for another, the story took a dramatic twist. 2.5 months into Brady's new relationship, Moynahan announced she was pregnant with his child. Suddenly, the fairy tale romance between Brady and Gisele collided with a complicated reality. Gisele later admitted she considered ending the relationship altogether. She described the news as a rude awakening, even wondering if Brady should try to work things out with Moynahan. But in the end, she and Tom chose to face the situation together, focusing on the positives instead of letting it break them apart. In August 2007, Moynahan gave birth to their son, John Edward Thomas Moynahan, known as Jack. Brady was not in the delivery room, but he was present that day and came in afterwards. The distance between them was clear, but he still showed up in the role that was expected of him. For Bridget, those early days were far from easy. She opened up about the challenges of being a first-time mother on her own, describing the fear and exhaustion that came with suddenly caring for a newborn. On top of that, she had to accept that her dream of raising a child within marriage wasn't going to happen. Yet, despite the pain, she eventually found strength in her situation, saying it revealed the integrity in both herself and Brady. Over time, the blended family dynamic found its rhythm. Gisele would come to describe Jack as her bonus child, a term filled with gratitude and affection. Her connection with him grew so strong that it transformed the way she and Tom viewed family life. At first, they had planned to wait years before having children together, but once Jack entered their lives, that plan shifted. The love they felt for him inspired them to start their family sooner than expected. By January 2009, Tom and Gisele were ready to take the next step, getting engaged. And, true to Brady's style, it wasn't a traditional proposal. Instead, he staged a prank. He called Gisele, claiming her apartment was flooding. She rushed home in a panic, only to open the door to a scene of candles and rose petals. Not disaster, but a carefully planned surprise. That's when Brady dropped to one knee and proposed. But instead of immediately saying yes, Gisele's first reaction was to scold him, not for the prank, but for the fact that he was kneeling after just having knee surgery and dealing with staph infections. Even in that once-in-a-lifetime moment, her first thought was for his health. When it came time for the wedding, the couple defied expectations again. Most people would assume that one of the world's most famous athletes and one of the world's most famous supermodels would throw a massive star-studded celebration. But they went in the complete opposite direction. They planned the ceremony in just 10 days, invited only their immediate families, and tied the knot at the Santa Monica Catholic Church in California. The reception was held at their home, where Brady himself grilled steaks. With champagne, cake, and ice cream, the night was simple but unforgettable. For Brady, what made it special was having just their parents there. If anyone expected the second wedding to be a glamorous redo, they would be mistaken. A few months later, the couple held another intimate ceremony at their home in Costa Rica. Once again, the guest list was tight, about 40 people, made up of extended family and just a few close friends each. There were no football teammates, no supermodel acquaintances, and no celebrity spotlight. Brady explained that the day wasn't about anyone else. It was about them. Bündchen later shared in her book that she was barefoot during the ceremony, which took place in their living room. There was no elaborate reception. Instead, guests enjoyed Mexican food and margaritas in the kitchen and out on the lawn. Brady didn't grill this time, but he did play DJ by putting together playlists for the night. For a couple who could have had the most extravagant wedding money could buy, Brady and Bündchen showed that intimacy, simplicity, and family were what truly mattered to them. The truth behind Brady's biggest scandal. Tom Brady has seen his fair share of controversies during his legendary football career, but none were bigger than the infamous Deflategate. In 2015, the New England Patriots were accused of using underinflated footballs during games, all because Brady reportedly preferred a softer grip. The issue came to light during the 2014 AFC Championship against the Indianapolis Colts, when one of the footballs tested at halftime raised suspicions. According to NFL rules, footballs should be inflated between 12.5 and 13.5 pounds per square inch. Later reports revealed that 11 out of the 12 footballs from the first half of that game fell below the required pressure. The controversy exploded after a 253-page league report suggested Brady knew about the deflation. What followed was a messy stretch of investigations, lawsuits, and courtroom battles. Brady was handed a 4-game suspension for the 2016 season. The Patriots were fined $1 million, and the team lost 2 draft picks. Both Brady and the Patriots denied any wrongdoing, And while Brady's suspension was briefly overturned, the drama dragged on for years. The fallout went beyond the football field. The constant pressure and media frenzy reportedly strained his marriage to Gisele Bündchen. Sources claimed Brady became withdrawn and difficult to be around, while Gisele, though supportive, grew frustrated with his stress and anger. Rumors quickly spread that the couple was on the verge of divorce. As if that wasn't enough, another scandal surfaced in 2015, this time dubbed Nannygate. That summer, Brady's friend Ben Affleck vacationed in the Bahamas with Jennifer Garner, their children, and the family nanny, Christine Uzunian. On the flight back, Affleck allegedly convinced the nanny to join him in Los Angeles. But instead of heading straight home, they made a detour to Las Vegas for a poker tournament. And Brady came along. The situation turned messy when Uzunian posted a photo on Instagram wearing Brady's 4 Super Bowl rings. The picture raised eyebrows, and once Jennifer Garner discovered the truth, she fired the nanny immediately. Just days later, Garner and Affleck announced their separation. The scandal fueled speculation that Brady's presence in the situation may have created new tension in his own marriage, further straining his relationship with Gisele. That same year, the couple appeared to be on shaky ground. They broke from tradition and celebrated their birthdays separately, something they had never done before since their birthdays fall just 2 weeks apart. Many saw this as a sign that their marriage was unraveling. Still, both made public efforts to show unity. Brady wished Gisele a happy birthday on Facebook while away at training camp, and she posted a family photo on Instagram with a birthday message for him weeks later. The images painted a picture of stability, but speculation lingered. Some sources insisted that the time apart helped the couple reset, and by the end of 2015, they seemed to be back on steadier ground. Brady even went on record in a radio interview to defend their marriage, making it clear that Gisele remained his strongest supporter. The marriage crumbling in real time. In February 2022, after more than 2 decades of dominance in the NFL, Tom Brady announced that he was officially retiring from football. His statement focused on stepping away from the game to dedicate more time and energy to his family and other priorities. He spoke warmly about his career, calling it a thrilling ride, and expressed gratitude for his teammates, coaches, and fans. But what caught the attention of many was the fact that he didn't mention the New England Patriots in his announcement. That omission sparked immediate backlash, considering the Patriots were the team where he spent 20 seasons and built his legacy. Brady did, however, make sure to highlight his family. He called them his greatest achievement and praised Gisele Bündchen for her selflessness, crediting her support as one of the reasons he was able to succeed at such a high level. He also described himself as the luckiest person in the world and looked forward to an exciting future beyond football. The announcement sent shockwaves across the sports world, trending on Twitter within minutes. But just as fans were adjusting to life without Brady on the field, speculation about a possible comeback began almost immediately. On his podcast, Let's Go, co-host Jim Gray pointed out how legends like Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali had walked away only to return. When asked directly if he might consider playing again, Brady didn't give a firm answer. Instead, he simply said he would take things as they came, and that he'd never say never. That vague response set social media ablaze. Fans joked that his retirement might last a week, and reporters began to wonder if he was already leaving the door open for a return. As it turned out, they weren't wrong. Just 40 days later, Brady announced he was coming back. He shared that he still belonged on the field, not in the stands, and that he wasn't ready to walk away from his teammates. He confirmed he would return for a 23rd season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, saying the team had unfinished business. His message included the rallying cry, LFG, which quickly spread among fans and teammates. Players like Mike Evans and Tristan Wirfs celebrated the news online, while rival teams who had been on the receiving end of Brady's dominance weren't quite as thrilled. But while the football world welcomed him back, not everyone in his personal life was excited. Gisele Bündchen had reportedly felt Brady's decision to retire was the right one, and she wasn't happy when he changed his mind. When the new season began, she was noticeably absent from his first game in the stands, though she did show support online. Later that year, she opened up in an interview, admitting she had concerns about his return, pointing to the physical toll of the sport and her desire for him to be more present at home with their children. Brady himself acknowledged the strain during an interview with Howard Stern. He revealed that Gisele had written him a letter expressing her unhappiness, saying he wasn't putting enough effort into their marriage or family life. According to him, even when he wasn't on the field, he was still consumed by his other business ventures, leaving her to handle most of the responsibilities at home. For Gisele, the sacrifices had been significant. After becoming a mother, she placed her modeling career largely on hold to raise their children, while Brady pursued his football career without pause. Though she expressed gratitude for the years spent focusing on her kids, she admitted she was ready to return to her career. For her, that imbalance created frustration, and it became clear that she wanted Brady to meet her halfway. Even as one of the most recognizable couples in the world, the weight of career demands, family responsibilities, and personal sacrifices pressed down on them. Both Brady and Gisele later revealed that they turned to counseling, trying to bridge the gap between his unyielding commitment to football and her desire for greater balance in their marriage. But instead of easing the strain, the cracks only deepened. In September 2022, a major headline broke on Page 6. According to their sources, Gisele Bündchen had flown to Costa Rica after a heated argument with her husband, Tom Brady. The fight centered on his decision to unretire and return to the NFL. Within days, Page 6 reported she was back in Florida. But instead of going home to Tampa, she chose to stay in Miami, keeping her distance from Brady. For anyone who follows Gisele on social media, her posts often reveal what she's feeling. In early October, just before the divorce became official, she left a subtle but powerful comment on a post shared by author Jay Shetty. The post suggested that relationships can't survive inconsistency, and Gisele replied with nothing more than a prayer hands emoji. It was enough to spark speculation that her marriage was nearing its end. While rumors of divorce had surfaced around the couple before, this time the tension seemed more serious. Reports soon emerged that both Brady and Bündchen were seeking divorce lawyers. Sources claimed the biggest strain on their relationship came from Brady's retirement reversal. They had agreed he would step away from football to focus on family. But when he returned to the game, Gisele reportedly felt betrayed. By October, more voices close to the situation were confirming that Gisele was ready to move on. Insiders said she no longer believed their marriage could be repaired, even though Brady still hoped for reconciliation. One source explained that this wasn't the first time she had threatened to leave, and in the past, things had calmed down, but this time felt different. Not long after, Brady also hired a divorce lawyer, and the couple's 13-year marriage officially came to an end. After the split, reports suggested that Brady never truly wanted the divorce. He was said to be willing to try therapy, even couples counseling, to keep the family together for the sake of their children. But Gisele later opened up in interviews, explaining that the cracks had formed long before his NFL comeback. She shared that they had grown apart over the years, and what they wanted out of life had shifted. They had been young when they met. She was 26, and he was 29. And as time passed, their paths diverged. Still, she insisted she would always support him and continue to cheer him on. Brady, on the other hand, seemed to take the separation harder. After Gisele's Vanity Fair interview, in which she appeared to be adjusting well, Brady posted a reflective poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson on Instagram. The piece spoke about finding meaning in life despite hardships, and ended with a line about leaving the world better for others. He captioned it with 3 hearts, a quiet signal of where his emotions stood. Publicly, Brady admitted the transition into single life was challenging. On his podcast, he shared that his focus was now split between caring for his children and continuing to perform as an athlete. He acknowledged it wasn't easy, but emphasized that he was committed to both roles. Around the same time, he also revealed that he was learning to prioritize himself, explaining that an NFL season demanded the same level of commitment as a military deployment, leaving little room for balance. Meanwhile, Gisele began embracing her independence. She was seen spending time with her daughter Vivian and attending wellness sessions, all while managing the legal side of her separation. In an earlier interview with Elle, she had already hinted at this shift, explaining that after years dedicated to her family, she was ready to reclaim space for herself. For her, the next chapter was about stepping back into her own spotlight. At 48, Tom Brady admits, "She was the love of my life." After his divorce from Gisele Bündchen in 2022, Tom Brady has not exactly hidden his emotions. Things became even more complicated when Bündchen revealed she was expecting a child with Joaquim Valente, her jiu-jitsu instructor. For many fans, the focus quickly shifted to how Brady was handling the news. By late 2024, his Instagram activity had people talking. In December, he shared a shirtless picture of himself holding a fish, what many called a thirst trap, and paired it with a Morgan Wallen song about moving on after a breakup. To some, it looked like Brady was trying to send a message that he had moved past his ex. But for others, the very act of posting about it suggested he was still caught up in the emotions of their split. The hints didn't stop there. A month earlier, in November, Brady posted a photo of a card featuring a passage from Theodore Roosevelt's 1910 speech, "The Man in the Arena." The message, about resilience and action in the face of criticism, tied back to a theme that had long defined his career. So much so that ESPN even used it as the title for his documentary series. Still, sharing a quote about strength during personal struggle only fueled speculation that Brady was processing more than just professional reflections. When news broke that Bündchen and Valente were expecting a child together, it reportedly hit Brady hard. According to insiders, while he had accepted that their relationship was serious, he had never expected her to start a family with someone else so soon. The revelation left him stunned. For Brady, the situation also brought up old fears. He had previously opened up about the challenges of co-parenting with actress Bridget Moynahan, the mother of his eldest son, Jack. Those experiences had been a major reason he hesitated to divorce Bündchen in the first place. He worried about repeating the same struggles with another ex. Despite his public image of strength, Brady has always admitted that balancing fatherhood with his personal life has been difficult. Sources close to him suggest that he never anticipated a future without Bündchen. The split, followed by her moving on and building a new family, underscored just how much love had been lost between them, and how hard it has been for both to navigate careers, parenting, and the search for new beginnings. Inside Brady's post-Gisele dating storm. Ever since his split from Gisele Bündchen, Tom Brady has been one of the most talked-about bachelors in the world. When the two tied the knot back in 2009, few could have imagined that one day he'd be single again. But their divorce in 2022 changed everything. Even though Brady hasn't gone public with a new partner, that hasn't stopped the dating rumors. With one son from his past relationship with Bridget Moynahan and 2 children with Gisele, he's tried to keep his personal life private. Still, the tabloids haven't missed a beat. linking him to several women since the divorce. Not long after the split, his name was tied to model Veronica Rajek. The speculation started because she was outspoken about supporting Brady during his final season with the Buccaneers. Despite the buzz, they were never seen together, and her camp brushed off the rumors, leaving that story to fade away. Then came the headline-making whispers about Kim Kardashian. The setup was pure Hollywood, two of the world's most famous newly single figures crossing paths. It began in May 2023, when Kim was house hunting in the Bahamas and reportedly reached out to Brady for advice since he owned property there. Sources insisted they were just friends, but by summer, the chatter had grown louder. The speculation peaked at Michael Rubin's annual 4th of July party, where both were spotted. Even though Rubin himself dismissed the rumors, a photo of Brady and Kim together surfaced online, reigniting the frenzy. Still, nothing concrete ever came of it. The real spark came a few weeks later, when Brady was spotted with Irina Shayk. In July 2023, Page 6 published photos of him picking her up from the Hotel Bel Air, with the pair smiling in his car before heading back to his Los Angeles home. Soon after, they were seen in London together, and sources close to the pair painted a picture of a whirlwind romance. Shayk was described as excited about the relationship, even calling Brady her dream guy, while insiders claimed Brady was drawn to her wit, independence, and charm. Their schedules, however, got in the way. By October 2023, reports confirmed the romance had fizzled out. According to those close to the situation, there was no dramatic ending, just the reality of busy lives pulling them in different directions. Brady was focused on his children and post-football ventures, while Shayk was juggling her own career and responsibilities as a single mom to her daughter with Bradley Cooper. Even though their relationship was short-lived, they never fully disappeared from each other's orbit. They kept things low-key, meeting in London and New York, and sparking curiosity every time they were spotted together. By early 2025, the rumors were back in full swing. Reports claimed Brady and Shayk had started seeing each other again, casually testing the waters without putting a label on it. The timing raised eyebrows, especially since Gisele welcomed her first child with her partner, Joaquim Valente, in February 2025. Some observers speculated that the news might have nudged Brady to reconnect with Shayk. Others simply saw it as two people enjoying each other's company at a stage in life where neither seemed ready to commit to anything too serious. For now, Brady and Shayk appeared to be keeping things relaxed, talking on the phone, meeting when their schedules allow, and even considering a trip together. Whether it turns into something lasting or just remains a chapter in their post-breakup lives, one thing is certain: Tom Brady's love life continues to be just as closely watched as his football career once was.